Good afternoon and welcome to Eli's Uber. The app is currently down, so I thought I would make a video whilst I drive to the gym. I was going to go to the gym later in the day. I might as well just go just now because, well, I can't work and hopefully it'll be fixed by the time I come out. Basically what's happening is you tap on the app to open it. It stays open for about 2 seconds and then just closes itself down again. So pretty frustrating. I have checked on the Twitter and I'm definitely not the only one that's having this issue. It's happening in America, it's happening in other countries, and it's happening in London as well. Which is going to be the talking point today, is London. So London just lost their Uber license. Basically what's happened is they were on a temporary license for a wee while because the TfL had some concerns about the way they operated in London. Sort of health and safety things, there was a few issues, and then today the TfL has denied them the license because they have reports of basically drivers who are not employed by Uber, like still driving for Uber under someone else's details. And the way that works is when you go into the app, you have your photo, a la my face will be there, and there is the possibility to change that in the app. You can take a new photo. However, in Glasgow it's run differently, so I don't know why London is not doing this, but if you want to change your photo in Glasgow, you need to get it done at the Uber Green Light Hub in Buchanan Street. So you'll see my photo. It is taken in the office of Uber, and it was taken on the day of my induction. Now what happens is there's a section on the app for drivers where you can go on and you can upload all your documents. So you can upload your private hire badge, you can upload your car insurance, you can upload the valid MOTs and things like that as well. So all of that is there for you, and we can change that. But what happens is once you update that, it gets sent over to the Green Light Hub in Glasgow for them to review it and approve it, and then they send that back. Alright, and it's the same with the photos. So if I was to sit in my car just now and take a new photo of me, it would be sent to Greenlight and they would inevitably decline it because it wasn't taken in their office. So why that's not happening in London is beyond me. I think London's got 2 or 3 offices. I could be wrong on that, because London's obviously a lot bigger than Glasgow. I'm sure they've got some offices that you could easily pop into and get your photos updated and things like that, and all they have to do is decline it when it gets sent online. So I don't understand why they've not been doing that. So what basically people have been doing is they've been getting themselves signed on with Uber, going away, giving their phone to their friend or letting their friend sign into their details on the app and retake the photo, and they're driving uninsured, they're driving illegally, and they are now causing a lot of people problems. So what's going to happen? London is still able to operate with Uber just now. Basically Uber's launching an appeal. It's going to go before the magistrate and they will then get a further hearing on that. That could take months. It could also take weeks, to be fair, but it could take months. So Uber will still be able to operate in that time. What will also happen is, well, what should also happen is they'll be given a chance to make amends to try and safeguard these things. And if I'm sure they will, but if they take some form of security measures to prevent this happening, then the magistrate will probably re-grant them the license. So it's one of those things, like Uber generally is still safer than a private hire vehicle, because the thing is, with a private hire vehicle, you don't even know who's coming to pick you up anyway. So it's no different to not having a photo. Like, it's any private hire company could do this, technically speaking. So I think it was just being made an example of, and I think it's a bit harsh. I've used Uber as a passenger for maybe 3-4 years, and Never once have I felt unsafe. There's been a few cagey drivers, especially when I was in Poland, but I still didn't feel like I was in jeopardy. I didn't feel like any harm was going to come to me from being in this person's car. And you know, I've never once seen somebody and thought, I don't think you're the right Uber driver, because usually they've got their licenses and things like that out as well, you know. So I don't know. I mean, London's obviously different from Glasgow, but I think it's a shame because, you know, it's hard on the guys down there. Uber is still a very big earner down in London, but on the flip side, they also have other apps that they can use down there. They've got other app services, and these are licensed drivers, you know. If you go onto YouTube, you look at Gig Guy London or Cabby 007, both very genuine drivers, and you know, they care an awful lot about what they do. But they've got, you know, they've got Captain, they've got Bolt, they've got Viavan and things like that to drive, which, you know, is better than Glasgow, because Glasgow literally only has Uber. Other than that, it's all private hire companies. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. I hope it does get resolved, because A, I think it's going to set some drivers back an awful lot, and B, I think, you know, passengers are going to suffer as a result as well. I think what will happen, probably starting this week, is the other apps are going to capitalise on this a little bit, and they're going to start running promotions to try and lure customers in. So you're probably going to see a lot more riders becoming aware of the apps such as Bolt and Captain. I think Bolt's the newest one, but Bolt is also a very good one from what I can see. I've been watching the guys' videos and things like that down south, and they seem to be, you know, they seem to be doing pretty well. Not overly busy yet, not as consistent as Uber, but I've seen them earn the drivers a lot of money, and I think they're probably the same quality of passenger as an Uber would be as well. So I think that's probably going to be the next step, is going to be for Uber. And there's my phone ring, I'll decline that. Yeah, so it's going to be probably Bolt taking on most of the work. Captain's there as well. Viavan, I think there's a lot of guys having issues with, because it's fixed fares. If you're to do the blue mode, so a lot of guys have some issues with, you know, a fixed rate. It's their preference. So passenger wise, should you worry? No, not initially. There's nothing to worry about. I mean, if you're ever in doubt, going back to my safety tips about getting into a private hire vehicle, if you're ever in doubt about your driver, ask to see their badge, because you'll know yourself if, for example, well, I'll use me. So if it says that Barry's going to pick you up, and somebody pulls up and you're like, maybe question it, ask to see their badge, and if their name doesn't say Barry, then you know that this is the wrong person driving you, and as a result they're going to be uninsured and they're in breach of the law. And report these people, because we don't want anything to do with them, you know. It's hurting the Uber community, and as I've said before as well, we are already trying our best to get a good reputation for Uber, and by and large it is, but you know, there's still a lot of kickback from other, you know, taxi companies and the black cab industry and things like that as well. So to see safety things that are actually very simple to be resolved getting breached down in London, it's a shame. And it's, I don't know if it's just due diligence or what that's failed here, but hopefully it can be resolved, and hopefully there's no repercussions that lead up this way, because I'm very happy with Uber, apart from the fact the app's not working right now. So yeah, but that's what's going on in London. I'll be keeping an eye on that myself, just you know, maybe update on it and things like that as and when, but for now they're still operating, they're still in London. It's going to probably be, I'd imagine, at least another couple of months before anything really happens, but it could be as quick as a few weeks. To be honest, I think I would rather it happen these next few weeks, because these guys need to know it's coming up to the busiest time of the year. These guys need to know if they're still going to be in a job or not. But I don't think they'll be overly worried with these other rider apps being there. But yeah, I think that's what's going to happen, is the market's going to try and lure people back in to new apps and things like that, and go from there. I'm waffling on a wee bit now, but I just thought I would put in a bit of an update as to Uber losing their London licence and give my thoughts on it. Just hope it doesn't affect the guys too much. So yeah, have a nice day and travel safe. Bye.